Right, these notes are over rate of change. A couple things that we need to know is rate of change is going to be measured on the graph for a certain interval. And rate of change, okay, is basically like you're finding the slope, which you've done before. Okay. The other thing that we need to know is that we want to find, for example, in number 1, we want to find the rate of change on the interval of -2 to 0. So from -2 over to 0. Well, that's that interval. Okay, and we wrote it, I have it written in interval notation, but you don't always have to write an interval notation. It can be written as an inequality, which would be -2 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 0. And in your homework on the Delta Math assignment, you're going to see it written this way, but they're the exact same thing. They mean the exact same thing. So find how this graph is changing over this section. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is figure out what your 2 ordered pairs are. Okay, so you're going to have 2 ordered pairs. And the first ordered pair, your x is going to be -2. And the second ordered pair, your x is going to be 0. But what you're missing is the y, so you need to find the y. Well, at -2, I'm going to go up to my graph, and that's point here where x is -2, and y is +2. Now I'm going to do that again. At 0, oh, it's all right here. This one's easy. At 0, the y is 0. And now that you have your points, now you can do your slope. This would be x1, y1, x2, y2. So you can plug it in, and you'd have 0 minus 2 over 0 minus -2. So we get -2 over 2, which is just -1. And this right here is your rate of change for that interval of the graph. All right, let's do it again. So this time we want to find it for the range between 0 and 9. Okay, and if we wrote it in interval notation, as an inequality, it would look like that. So this right here is interval notation, and this is the inequality. Okay. All right, so these mean the same thing. It's 2 different ways of writing the same thing. Okay, so first thing, find your 2 ordered pairs. So one ordered pair is going to be 0 something, and the other is going to be 9 something. And you need to figure out what the y is for each of those points. Well, where x equals 0, our point is right here on the y-axis, and y is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so -7. Okay, for the next point, we're at 9, so you go over to 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you go up to your graph and then read what it is on the y. Well, it's 1, 2, 3 on the y. Now that you have your 2 ordered pairs, now you can find the slope with those, which would calculate the rate of change over this section of the graph. Okay, so you're finding the slope of this line here, the straight line between the 2 points. So you're going to do 3 minus -7, or 9 minus 0. So that gives you 10 over 9, and that right there is your rate of change. All right, let's try it again on this graph. So remember, this can also be written as an inequality, compound inequality. -1 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 2. Both mean the exact same thing. Okay, write your 2 ordered pairs. One is going to be -1 something, one is going to be 2 something. Then we got to find the point. At -1 on the x, I'm going to go up to my graph and look over here. It is at 4. At 2 on my graph, I'm going to go over to the graph, and it is at 1. Now that I have my 2 points, I can find the rate of change. It's going to be 1 minus 4 over 2 minus -1. So that gives me -3 over 3, which simplifies to -1, which is my rate of change over this portion of the graph. Now notice if I connect those 2 points, my line will be going down, so it should be negative. That makes sense. All right, we'll do one more. Okay, again, this can be written as a compound inequality. First thing I need to do is find my two ordered pairs. Whoops, I don't know why I wrote a 0 there. Okay, so on the graph, where x is 2, I'll go up to my graph, and it's here. And y is in between the 2 and the 6, so it's got to be up 4. And then I'll go to 10 on the x, go up to my graph. It's right here. It's between 10 and 14, so it's got to be at 12. Now that I have my 2 points, I can find the slope. Okay, so I'm figuring out what this slope is here. Now, from right to left, this is going up, so it should be a positive line, or a positive slope. So I'm going to do 12 minus 4 over 10 minus 2. So that gives me 8 over 8, which reduces to 1, and that is my rate of change.